All right, today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of diving deep into a big research paper, we're going to look at just one single explosive headline. It's a sentence that predicts a total upheaval of the global aviation industry, and we're going to deconstruct it to see exactly how it works. So, this is it. This is the headline that got us thinking. It's a massive claim about a new aircraft, the Russian-built MC-21, and it says it's set to completely challenge the established order. It's bold, it's very specific, and it is absolutely designed to grab your attention. Okay, so our goal here isn't to prove or disprove this prediction. Nope. Instead, we're going to treat it like a piece of machinery. We're going to take it apart, pop the hood, and really understand the language being used to see how each word is so carefully chosen to create an incredibly powerful effect. So, when you break it down, this headline follows a surprisingly simple formula. You've got a catalyst, the MC-21. You've got a dramatic action, it shocks. A massive target, the entire aviation industry. And a very clear deadline, 2026. Each piece is a building block in this narrative of inevitable, revolutionary change. So let's start with that core idea of revolution. Right off the bat, the language here is all about total disruption, isn't it? It's not just saying the MC-21 will compete with or challenge the industry. The wording suggests a fundamental rewrite of all the rules. So what does a revolution actually look like in this context? Yeah, a revolution isn't just a slightly better engine or a more comfortable seat. It's a complete overhaul. Think about that historic shift from propeller planes to the jet age. That's the kind of fundamental system-wide transformation this headline is promising. It's not just a new plane, it's a whole new era. And this contrast really highlights a very deliberate choice. The story could have been framed as an evolution, the next logical step in a long line of aircraft, but instead they chose revolution, a word that just screams drama, upheaval, and a complete break from the past. It's a much, much more attention-grabbing story to tell. And then, building on that idea of revolution, you have the verb shocks. This word is so clever because it's not just about impact, it's about the reaction to that impact. A shock implies the industry is caught completely by surprise, totally unprepared for what's coming. It frames the revolution as not just transformative, but completely unexpected. So who exactly is getting shocked here? The headline is incredibly ambitious. It claims it will be the entire industry. You got to remember, for decades, commercial aviation has basically been dominated by a powerful duopoly. So a claim that this entire ecosystem is about to be shocked? Wow, that is a very big deal. And this just shows you the sheer scale of that claim. We're not just talking about Boeing and Airbus. The language here suggests a seismic event that's going to ripple through the entire global network, from the thousands of suppliers who make every single part, to the regulatory agencies that certify safety, and right down to us, the passengers. The claim is that no one is left untouched. And that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, the date, 2026. Adding a specific year does something incredibly powerful to a claim like this. It takes a sort of vague, futuristic idea and anchors it in a tangible, near-term reality. Think about it. Without a date, this is just a floating what-if possibility. But by stamping 2026 on it, the author basically starts a ticking clock. It transforms a maybe-someday idea into a scheduled event, something that feels immediate and just around the corner, creating this powerful sense of impending certainty. And that's really the magic trick here, isn't it? This is a classic rhetorical tool. The specificity of the year 2026 makes the statement feel less like a guess and more like a prophecy. It lends this air of authority and insider knowledge to the claim, making it way more persuasive than if it just said someday. So, we've taken the headline apart piece by piece. Now, let's put it all back together and look at the clear formula at play here. It's almost like a recipe for making any technological prediction sound like an inevitable, world-changing event. And there you have it, the recipe. Name your catalyst, describe its impact with a powerful verb, define a massive scale, and then set that ticking clock. It's a simple but incredibly effective formula for framing any prediction as urgent, significant, and almost unavoidable. So why does any of this matter? Well, understanding this formula is an absolutely crucial skill. We are constantly bombarded with bold predictions about new technologies that are set to change our world. Being able to spot the language of hype helps us separate what's genuinely possible from what's just, powerfully persuasive. It helps us ask better, smarter questions. So when you look at this sentence now, you see more than just a prediction, don't you? You see the architecture behind it. You see the deliberate linguistic choices that were made to frame a story in the most dramatic way possible, whether it ultimately comes true or not. So the next time you see a headline promising to disrupt an industry or revolutionize our lives, look for that recipe and ask yourself, is this a genuine forecast or is it just a very well-told story? Because only time will tell which prophecies actually become history. Thanks for digging into this with us.